couple of months back, I had someone call, left a message, and they had a list of things that they were looking for in a church. And so we couldn't meet their criteria, so they didn't come. And after that, see, a few years ago, that would have made me start wondering, well, Lord, do we need to get a children's ministry? So we tried. Do we need to get a children's ministry and a youth ministry? We tried all of that. We tried. Actually tried. Never been able to get those things off the ground. So the Lord just kind of spoke to me and said, where's children's ministry been for your children? He's like, at home. Where is teen ministry for your children? Yeah, at home. Where was young adult ministry for your sons? At home. Said, teach that. Teach that in Harrisburg. So that you don't go out looking for a church to be your children's minister. You don't go out looking for a church to be looking for some teen pastor. At home. I'll close with this one, my one and only closing. I'll close with this. My brother told us he got a chance to meet with several leaders from around the country. And these leaders have come together and they have made this assessment. They said, over the last 30 years, we realized that we made a big mistake, that we've been putting the emphasis on church growth instead of family growth. That all of these years, we should have been teaching the people of God how to minister in their own homes. These are big name ministries that are now recognizing after 30 years, all these years, we should have been teaching husbands how to love their wives. We should have been teaching wives how to reverence their husbands. We should have been teaching parents how to raise their children. We should have been teaching children how to obey their parents. That way we wouldn't have needed to think we got to have a children's pastor and we got to have a teen pastor. We should have been teaching about growth in the home. So my brother encouraged me. He was talking on the phone. It was one of those long conversations we had. So he says, you've been doing it the right way in Harrisburg. It doesn't matter how few people come. Said even the big churches are now recognizing they better take it home. They better put the emphasis back in the home. No longer can these, and I'm not speaking against them because I come from a pretty large ministry, but the numbers can't be the thing that qualifies a ministry in our sight. If it's got a lot of people, it must be legit. I had a pastor tell us youth pastors, he had a big church, about 4,000 members. He told us, he said, numbers don't mean nothing. He said, I got a big church. He said, it's just a big baby. He said, my church grew out of injury. He said, you know, if you injure certain parts of the body, it'll just swell up. He said, my church grew out of injury. People came here, they was hurt from other churches, and so they came here. And he said, so we had swelling. Not church growth, we had swelling. So he said, don't think that every time you see somebody that's got a large ministry that they've got a mature ministry, that they've got an effective ministry. He said, I tell people all the time, don't pay no attention to the fact that I got 4,000 members. He said, I got 4,000 babies. He said, I'd rather have a church of 100 if I had some maturity. Whew, my God. And before we came here to Harrisburg, my Lord kept giving me this dream of us with this child. But though it was the size of some baby, maybe like 2 years old, it was talking like a 10-year-old. It was behaving much more maturely than its size. Little did I know. He was talking about what our ministry would be like here. It would be small in size, but there would be maturity. The real measure of growth.